Good morning, crypto Twitter is missing crypto, spreading crypto with doctors showing its benefits to my generation. Shout out to all my people, Gen Z needs to be included. It's really that simple. We are savage, amazed, zesty, making money at the same time. Spread peace. I feel empty if you don't include Gen Z. About to change the world, so y'all better get ready. Missing crypto, I'm never backing down. I got a wax account, you should check it out. So many NFTs, I think I lost count, and I'm only getting started. Yeah, barely off the ground. Missing crypto, you cannot stop me. My hands are made from diamonds, your hands fall like origami. Never be the boss of me. Bitcoin's all I need. When I say I'm zesty, that's just me talking honestly. Crypto and yum farm marketplace. I wanna see the more we gotta go through cyberspace. Leave this world without a trace. Save pay for a different day, cause we partners in the cryptos didn't stay.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Miss Teen Crypto Show. I hope everyone's having a very happy Friday today. If you're new to the channel, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, share this stream out with friends. If you see the QR code in the bottom right corner, give it a scan. If you're the first one to scan, or click that link in the description, you will get a free NFT. And what's better than free NFTs? I think it's our zesty guests. Everyone, give a warm welcome to Crypto Stache. Thank you for coming on the show.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, you know it. I love that song, man. I purposely muted my thing so I could listen to that. That song is fire. I love that.
Thank
intro.
you. I sold it as a one-of-one NFT a little while back. I'm happy you like it.
Yeah, it's very zesty and very appropriate to get things kicked off.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. I know you're a very busy guy. You're always streaming. Every time I go on my phone, there's always an alert from YouTube. Crypto Stache is live, and you're always live on Theta as well. Well, I'm going to ask you about that a little while later because Theta is really cool. But who were you? Who was Sir Crypto Stache before crypto?
Who was I in a previous life?
Yes, because it is a whole other life.
Now I'm a mustachioed NFT content creator that is a secret agent in his spare time. Previously, before I got, all right, so roll it on back. I came into this kind of new role that I'm in here around 2008. And so 2008 is really when my life kind of took a split. Before then, I have a degree in architecture. So I worked in the architecture industry for almost 10 years. A lot of people don't know that about me, actually. And so I was doing architecture for a long time. And 2008 hit, and it completely decimated my industry. The housing crisis, everything globally. I was working on a bunch of international projects, and they all got put on hold. And most of the people at the company, the firm that I worked at, got laid off, including myself. And so I was kind of just drifting after this. I didn't really know what to do. I was on unemployment. I had to downsize. I had a sweet ass apartment. I was doing really well for, at the age at that time, I was 2008. I was like, 30-ish, 30,
Yeah.
30. So oh no, actually like 28, 27. I was doing really well. And then it was just a complete downsize after that. And so I was kind of waffling around, didn't really know what to do. And so at that time, I was like, well, something that I've always been passionate about is entrepreneurship and running my own business, which I'd always tried to kind of do before then. Like I was doing architecture as a career, but I always had some sort of side hustle going on, right?
Yeah.
So before that, like I was doing a lot of music and concert promotion. So I was doing club promotions, I was doing music promotions. So I was setting up shows with bands, and I'm a musician as well. So I was playing in bands as well at the time. So I was very involved in the music scene. And so that's kind of what I was doing then, and trying to make kind of businesses out of that, but nothing ever really like hit very well. I've done music promotion and concert and festival promotion for a long time, but nothing really like took off crazy. I still play music. I've been a musician my whole life, but so that's kind of so in 2008 that my path kind of diverted, and it was the same time Bitcoin was created for the same damn reason. It was that same incident. Like I literally would be an architect, probably working in a stuffy office right now, like in a damn cubicle, grinding away, if that had not happened to me. I had not got laid off. Yeah. So that's kind of how it went that direction. So like in 2008, I was like I said, I was unemployment, didn't know what to do. And I decided, okay, I'm going to start my own business. And I was like, I'm going to go with one of my other skills that I have, but is completely opposite of what I went to school for, what I had a degree for, which was web design. And so I started doing websites and designing people's websites, and I built a company out of that. And so I still have that company called Long Beach Web Design, and I've been doing that for like 12 plus years. And that's kind of been my main business. And then I got into crypto in 2013, and that's when, that's what set me like more off to this path, right? And so that's when I first bought my first Bitcoin, was in the end of 2013, beginning of 2014. Hodled through a massive bear market when Mt. Gox hit. Luckily, I did not have my coins on Mt. Gox. I was like maybe some of the few people that didn't, because that was like the go-to exchange. That was like the Binance, right?
Yeah.
Or like the Coinbase of its time. And so I didn't get Goxed, luckily, but I hodled through the whole bear market, and then I kind of came back into the scene in 2016, and that's when I really started getting back into things. I saw Ethereum, and that's when I decided that I wanted to kind of try and talk to more people about this, get the word out about it, and actually really it started with me documenting my journey just in a personal blog. And that's how I started the Crypto Stache brand. Is I started a blog up, and I was like, I'll just jot my thoughts down in this like little blog, that I have set up for myself. And it just kind of took off from that. People started, asking questions and commenting, and I started getting a lot of engagement. So I started off doing articles, and then it just kind of took off from there, and, started making friends. And I got in early before a lot of people were really doing content around crypto. And then, the rest is Stachiest history.
Wow. I'm just like...
Boom! I dropped it all on you. That was a lot, right?
Yeah, I feel like I went on this journey with you right now. That was crazy. I feel like I lived vicariously through that. Okay, so you were in architecture. I find that so interesting. Just designing things. Was that always like something you wanted to do? Like, you obviously went to school for it and all that stuff. So you had the intent, like, I definitely wanted to design buildings. Like, what was there any inspiration? What made you want to do that?
Yeah, that was always my plan. Like, since high school, I started doing architecture classes in late in high school, maybe like junior year or something. And I was like, I love doing this. I really I feel like that was my calling. In general, what it kind of stems from is that I love to create.
Yes.
And that's something I've always done. So I create in music. I also do I've done fine art and sculpting and all kinds of things. So I've done mixed medium art my entire life, and it's kind of spans across pretty much every medium that you could possibly think of. And so that's where everything kind of revolves around that. So architecture revolves around the same kind of principles. So does web design and graphic design, which I'm self-taught at, and some of those things. So it all kind of stems from that. I love creating things. And so that's where a lot of my skills were very focused. Architecture is more of like a, I don't know, it's like stricter guidelines, it's not as open and creative, but there are some creative elements to it. So it also played into that side of my brain as well, to the more logical side. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of where it was kind of stemming from. And I still do. I'm still, like I said, very creative in a lot of these different ways, and it translates, has translated into my brand, into everything I've done since then, since I've graduated high school and done these things.
That's so cool. And then, so I find it interesting as well that you went from designing whole buildings, all that math, all that brain work, a lot of course vision has to come with that, because being in architecture now, you kind of have to be very creative and outside of the box, and you're already outside of the box. So then you went and learned how to code. Is that you have to learn how to code to design websites, right?
Yeah, I actually learned how to code when I was 15. So I taught myself how to start coding HTML at 15. I was building computers at 13, 14 years old.
Get out of here.
I was using the internet in the early 90s, before AOL was even a thing. So like I said, yeah. So I mean, the artistic side of things, the creative side, and then the logical side. So I lashed onto computers really early. Really early on, and really got into that. So yeah, I taught myself how to code HTML when I was about 15 or 16 years old, and I just kind of did it as oh, this is cool, look what I can do. But yeah, so it was always just kind of a hobby, just something I just kind of did on the side, and I like doing it. So
I'm surprised that you learning that so early, and then around the same time, junior year, you're like 16, 17, finding that passion for architecture. But you still have like that internet, I guess, intuition, like you liked it a lot. So I'm surprised you didn't stick through with the internet concept or the like something to do with that career wise.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like it was one of those things where it's like I enjoyed doing it, and maybe I didn't, being that young, I didn't necessarily see as big of an opportunity or maybe future for that. Like I had got to a point where I was pretty set on, like, I really loved architecture, I loved designing things in that kind of format, and the internet was not as big, like what you think about it now, like, oh, why would you continue to do that? Well, I knew that it was powerful. I knew that it was something that was going, it was, life changing, but never really thought like, hey, if I got into this now, then, in the future, I'm going to have a great start. And so I just, like I said, I use that skill to kind of help with everything else I've done anyway. So graphic design and being able to build websites, it's helped me with all the businesses that I've started and failed over the course of the last 20 years or so. So it's a great ancillary skill that has really kind of supported everything else I've done, including architecture. So I definitely don't regret it, but yeah, I mean, I kind of kept up with it, and like I said, because of that, I was able to then, when this architectural side kind of failed on me, and not of my own choosing, but just kind of something out of my control, that the coding and graphic side was able to kind of step up there and be the main breadwinner for me. So that I think that worked out.
Yeah, I was going to say you were involved in the internet in like 2008, 2013. That still was very early for a lot of people. People weren't really on the internet that much. I feel like smartphones. I think the first iPhone came out in 2008. So I think that definitely pushed people towards the internet. But you were involved so early. I find that so fascinating. Building computers as well. Like these were PCs, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. So I got started, messing around building a 386. Was the like, that probably means absolutely nothing to you, but
I don't know what that means.
yeah. So like a 386, and then subsequently just take them apart, put them back together again, get new parts, and I just would continue to do that throughout growing up and through high school, and then into college as well. I've always built my own computers, and that helps with things like being a gamer and stuff like that. I played the very first early online games.
Ooh,
so
like
first
what?
MMOs out there and things like that. So things like Doom, which were like the first multiplayer ones, and then Ultima Online was also another really big one. It was the first MMO, mass multiplayer online like RPG. So some of the really first early ones that were a lot of fun, and playing PC games even before they were online too. So lifelong gamer.
Lifelong gamer for real. Like you were really here from the start. It's like
Atari all the way up. Like if you want to talk about console, and then
yeah, like you've been gaming for forever, like very early gamer, very early on the internet itself, and very early in crypto. So this all kind of just like came to you like step by step. It's just like the internet just attached itself to you, and you like fell in love with the internet. It's like you had this connection, this spark. And
yeah, like technology in general.
Exactly, yes. And that idea to innovate and everything. When you first bought Bitcoin, because we were talking about how it was kind of in that like Mount Gox type of situation, what was like that feeling of buying your first Bitcoin? Was that something you were sure of because you already understood the concept of the internet and how valuable that was? So was Bitcoin, as valuable to you then?
Yeah, no, I mean, when I bought, like, I was very sure at that point, and I was like, I'm going to buy some Bitcoin here, and I'm just going to kind of see what happens. The idea, the ethos and idea behind this technology, I knew it was going to be game changing, and I knew that I needed to get in on it now. And I had actually seen Bitcoin a year prior, and I dismissed it. I dismissed it in 2012. I was like, I saw it and I was like, this doesn't really make sense, because it was a very surface level exposure to it. I didn't read the white paper. I didn't see anything behind it, any of those things. But then 2013 is when I did read the white paper. It kind of came back into my radar, and I was like, let me go dig some more into this. And that's when I read, Satoshi's white paper for the first time. And it just blew my mind. And I was like, this is going to be huge. This is going to be the next wave, just like of technology and you know, kind of progressing with in combination with the internet and with and overall really with money. And I felt and saw a lot of the same way and things that when I first saw the internet, and it blew my mind too. And I was like, this is going to be everything, you know. And I was a little bit too young, I would say, to like capitalize on it efficiently.
Yes.
You know, but knew that it was going to be game changing. Just you know, I'm 16, man. I'm just like partying, having fun, and getting to college. It's the same thing, and you know.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really so focused on like being a professional or you know, trying to make a bunch of money. I was just trying to have fun, you know, as a young cat. So. Yeah, I think that I saw a lot of that same, you know, power in the white paper, and I was like, I got to be in this. I got to get into it, and I did. Like after reading the white paper, I think it was only maybe like 2 months later, I kind of kept reading everything I could on Bitcoin Talk, which was the OG, is still like the OG Bitcoin forum for people. That, you know, there was not a lot of people. People weren't really like, not like it is now. Like we're discussing it online. There's YouTube videos about it. Like it was a very small community, and it was on this one message board, you know, called Bitcoin Talk. And so, yeah, I was on there just trying to soak up everything I could. And then I bought Bitcoin on Coinbase, where I first bought Bitcoin. I think it was like either in December of 2013 or maybe January of 2014. So I first bought it.
Still early. You dismissed it,
Yeah.
but it came. How did it come back into your radar?
You know, one of my buddies actually had said something about it, and I was like, oh yeah, I've seen that before. And he's like, oh, you got to look into it. And you know, I had also seen it again, I think on like a Reddit forum or another newsletter somewhere, that's you know, some tech forums. I don't remember the exact place, but it's like I had seen a couple more, just like, oh yeah, I remember seeing something about that. Let me go look a little bit more into it. You know, it was just kind of like a little reminder of like, oh yeah, I've seen that. And maybe there's more to it than maybe I thought, and it just kind of spurred my interest to go really look into it again. So.
And then when you read the white paper, you said that's kind of what did it for you. What out of the white paper made it click? Made it be like, okay, this is something I need to get right now.
I mean, I think that, you know, the ideas of immutability and censorship resistance were some of the big ideas that really hit home with me, you know? Yeah. Being able to transfer value from person to person without having to have permission from a third party or a banking entity. I mean, at this point, I was fed up with banks, man. You know, they were part of the reason why, you know, things took a shit in 2008. They've been hosing me for years, taking fees from me. You know, when you're not making a ton of money, man, and they're charging you $10 a month to hold your money, or you know, if you then they have what we call the poor tax, or we call, you know what I'm saying, like, or some people, I guess the banks, they call it insufficient funds, but that's essentially when you don't have enough money in your account and something tries to clear, and then like, oh, you don't have any money in your account, we're going to charge you even more, and now there's another fee, and now you're even poorer. Now you're in the negative. Jeez. You know, and so it's like it's stuff like that really just kind of pissed me off, and nobody likes that. I mean, I don't think anybody out there is like, yeah, that's cool with me. I don't mind paying the bank $20 a month or $10 a month to hold my shit. No. So yeah, I love the fact that you know, the censorship resistance and the immutability of something like this, being able to have a log that cannot be changed, that everyone can agree on, is pretty powerful. It's a simple concept. And a lot of people think, oh, that's not that powerful. There's so much power behind that. So those two things combined together, you know, in a form of value transfer is huge. You know, there's millions of people around the globe that can't get banking services. They just can't. And it's because someone says, hey, no, you're not good enough, or hey, you don't have this piece of thing that we want, this type of ID or this type of thing, so you can't do that. But with Bitcoin, you definitely can. So I mean, you know, as easy as being able to just open up a wallet if you have any kind of access to the internet, and there's even ways to do it without the internet, which is kind of crazy too. You can do it on a mobile phone too. So it makes it so much more accessible. And so those ideas, I think, really you know, pushed it to the forefront for me of like, hey, this is going to be revolutionary.
100%. A lot of my guests have said that the peer-to-peer aspect is what they value the most out of it. And yes, anyone with an internet connection can start transacting with Bitcoin. And I heard you could transact Bitcoin over radio waves. Is that true? Or something like that? Yeah. Like over. Yeah, for sure. There's all kinds of ways to do it. You can do it over. There's different radio waves that you can do that over. Me and my friend Brecky, one time we tested these things called GoTennas, and you can set up a local network with your friends using these GoTennas,
and you could send Bitcoin through that kind of network and stuff like that. So there's such great ways. Like it's called a mesh network essentially.
Yeah.
And so there's so many ways that you can actually do this, and it's not just limited to like, oh, you got to have a big bank account, or you got to have access to Coinbase, or you got to be in the United States. There's so much accessibility there. It's just about finding the right solution for where you're at and what you have.
Definitely. And what have you seen in terms of adoption? You've been here, of course, Mount Gox. That was, I guess, a big lesson for everyone in the space, considering if you don't have your keys, it's not your crypto. So what have you seen in terms of adoption from then until now?
I mean, it's been huge, just if you look back even just in like 20, I mean, okay, so if I go from like 2013, adoption incredibly low, incredibly hard to use. There's no real good turnkey solution. Setting up a wallet is incredibly hard. Everything about using Bitcoin was tough.
Yeah.
Fast forward to like 2016, 2017, things get a little bit easier, but most people are still skeptical. There's not a lot of people who are really on board. And then 2017, the end of that, we had a really big exposure in the retail market for, like your retail or average investor or average people. And we saw a massive flood of people coming in. But I think what happened there was it was an event that, we had never really seen before. And it burned a lot of people because they came in, November, December, and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm a genius! Anything I throw money at, just going 100x. I'm a genius!" And then 2 months later, they're wrecked and they're down 50%, and they're like, "I hate crypto. This is a scam. I'm never gonna do this. I'm selling everything."
Yeah.
And I hope they didn't, but if they did, it was very short-sighted, because here we are, just a few short years later. And crypto is booming, and that's just kind of how things go. All markets move in cycles, not just Bitcoin, but stocks and bonds and goods and services all move in these kind of different cycles and these patterns. So I don't know. I'm more of a long-term thinker, so I think that the people who have that long-term mentality, they stuck around. And they were probably, rewarded for that. And the people who have paper hands and were just like thinking it's a scam, they probably are kicking themselves right now.
Yes, the lettuce hands lost and the diamonds hands won for sure.
You call them lettuce hands?
Lettuce. I've seen Jason Williams call it lettuce hands. Like, you just kind of like it kind of like falls through. You're like, ugh.
Yeah.
No.
All right, I could get with that.
No, I totally vibed with it when I first heard about lettuce hands. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Paper
hands, lettuce hands, it works, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of like paper, like have you ever experimented with paper wallets? Was that something you've ever used?
Oh yeah, for sure. Paper wallets are great, actually. Paper wallets are one of the most secure, like simple ways to like secure your Bitcoin. Obviously, you want to have backups of those things, and that's the only, like you don't want to just have one copy of it, but if you're doing a paper wallet, like it's one of the easiest ways to secure your crypto offline without having to have like a hardware wallet or something like that. Now, like I said, it's susceptible, just like anything else. Like if you lose that one, like damn, it's gone,
Yeah.
But the other cool thing about it too is it's easy to be able to gift people Bitcoin with the paper wallet too, which is kind of nice. And that was something that I think we did quite a bit in the earlier days, is using paper wallets to be able to gift people, which is kind of nice. So you just like, here's a piece of paper, it's a QR code, boom, you got some Bitcoin.
Right, I think that's so great. I feel like kids in the future, like they're not going to want checks or fiat in their Christmas cards. They're going to want paper wallets.
Yeah.
Or like NFTs.
Yeah.
Like you print out your QR code from Atomic Hub and that's it.
Yeah.
Or send them a link.
Yeah, it works great. And having a QR is something that is great for on the go,
It is.
Everyone's got a phone. You're just like, boop, boom, done. And
Right.
So every conference I go to, I do just what you're saying. Like I print QR codes of my NFTs and I give them away to people. Here, scan this shit. QR, boom, right there.
Oh, I got one at Shitcoin 2021 in June.
Yeah, for Miami.
Oh my God, that was
Earlier this year,
great. I remember you handed me a Stache NFT. Like I thought that was great. I thought that was great. So creative. And it's like it was kind of like what you did was like a POAP. It was like for like Miami Bitcoin 2021. I really liked that. Is that something that you've always liked to do, like give away, do those kind of QR codes? Because POAP is doing that now. So like, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing actually. Doing this predates POAP before they were even existed. So like,
for sure.
there was a time where I couldn't give my NFTs away, but I would create them for events. And in particular, I was doing with originally with Engine. So with the Engine wallet, I would have I have a well, not anymore, but we had a long running Bitcoin meetup here in Long Beach. Which we did for like 6 years, I think, and we just decided this year to kind of we were doing it digitally for a while, but it just wasn't working out, and so we decided to kind of tail off on that and cancel it. But I was doing it where, you know, anytime we came there, I had special NFTs I would give to people who attended, and I was doing it for conferences for things like blockchain LA Blockchain Week here that started in 2018 is I think the first time I actually ever did it. Was I had my Engine wallet. I created one specifically for LA Blockchain Week 2018, and I was telling people, like, when I was on stage and I was a speaker, and I'm like, hey, if anybody wants a free NFT after the show, come see me. You know, come see me, and I'll hook you guys up. All you gotta do is have an Engine wallet. And you know, I would get like 2 people come up and ask for a free NFT out of a room of 5,000. So there's like 5,000 people there, and 2 people would come up, and I'm like, that's how early it was. I couldn't give these damn things away, and now, you know, people be lining up for stuff like that, and it's just funny to see how that's progressed. You know, I've been shouting about NFTs and gaming and stuff like that for you know, since the beginning, and a lot of people just didn't get it, I guess, and I did, and I saw it and I ran with it. So.
When did you discover NFTs? How did you find them?
In 2017. The first time I really kind of started seeing NFTs was around the CryptoPunk time, and there was a couple other earlier projects that were doing some stuff around then. But really was CryptoKitties that really, like, that where the aha moment came, because that's when it was like, oh, okay, it's not, it doesn't have to just be you know, a crappy piece of graphic or artwork. There you can put function in this, and that was big, and that was something that no one had really done in a real proper manner. And that's when it clicked for me at that point. It was just like seeing kind of Satoshi white papers of like, dang, this is going to be big. This is something that is going to be so useful, and there's so many use cases for this. You know, just a crappy pixel character, that doesn't mean jack shit to me. And so when they're like, hey, you guys, hey, Stache, you want a free, you know, crypto, look, one of these guys, I'm like, nah, I'm good. It's like, I don't really want one of those. They're not really my style.
Wait, so you turned down a CryptoPunk?
Yeah,
I'm freaking dead. That's hilarious.
Yeah, because that's what they did. They gave them away really early on to people.
Oh my gosh.
I saw that they gave away, and it's not like they didn't reach out to me and say, hey, do you want one? But it was just like, I saw it and I was like, that's not, I mean, that's like not even good pixel art. Like, I wish it was, you know, cool. And like I said, I didn't, and there was like no like term like NFT. Like, it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a non-fungible token, and it wasn't like a popular thing. So I just was like, it wasn't a big deal at that.
No,
I didn't really understand the power behind it.
It wasn't like cool kid status yet. Like, everyone
because
wants
there was no standard. There was no standard for NFTs back then, you know.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like we have multiple standards now, but there was no standard then. So.
No, like, that's so funny. You were there at the start of CryptoPunk. Did you ever see NFTs, like, you know, expand the way they did or explode the way they did, especially now?
Yeah, I mean, I always knew that it was going to be a technology that you could be very powerful, because it incorporates the creative side of things with people. You know, I think that's really big. The creative, you know, when you're bringing in entertainment, creative stuff, you know, especially in an environment or ecosystem that really supports it. I mean, that just can blow things up, you know. And so I knew, just because of those aspects, that element, that NFTs were going to be big. They just needed to, once again, they just needed a little bit more technology just to help support them, you know, and make them a little bit more user friendly. And, you know, in 2017, they worked. It was, you know, a couple of projects started, you know, working on these things, and, you know, did some very basic stuff there in 2017. And then 2018 was really when they kind of came into their own. You know, Engine, you know, really got on board with NFTs, and that's why I started working with them. I was actually the first YouTuber to create his own NFT. Nobody had done it before me. As a matter of fact, almost nobody, as a matter of fact, almost no individual had ever done their own individual NFTs. It was all project stuff. So things like CryptoPunks or Cheese Wizards, or a couple of the other words like Curio cards, some of the early stuff. You know, it was never an NFT, you know, forced from like an individual. It was always a project-based NFT, right? So I was the first individual person to really put that out there, and I airdropped 5,000 of my Stache logos, like what you see here, like as NFTs, to people for free through Engine. And that was the first time we had done that.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I've been been dropping NFTs since the beginning. I did that in I think it was maybe October, September of 2018 was when I did that.
Guys, Crypto Stache is an OG. Like I've met you quite a few times, and we haven't gotten this deep before, and I'm just like so mind blown right now. So you're a big gamer as well. I want to just like highlight blockchain gaming because I know you do a ton of streams with blockchain gaming. What was your first blockchain game? How do you see that game like progressing now? Is that still around, and where do you see the whole blockchain game space going? I'm so interested to hear.
What was my first blockchain-based game that I played? I mean, if you consider CryptoKitties a game, then it would be CryptoKitties. But I don't really consider that a game per se. It's like gamified. You know?
Yeah,
it's
I got
gamified.
it.
It's not really like a game. Like it's like, oh, you can breed. It's okay. It's gamified. You have these NFTs. It's cool.
Okay.
So that definitely wasn't my first game. I wouldn't consider my first gaming experience. The first real one I would say was probably Gods Unchained in 2018 when I got into their closed beta, and that was one of the real first ones I think that, and I believe it was 2018. Was one of the real first ones, and actually some of the early, maybe engine games. There might have been an engine game that predated that. It possibly Lost Relics might have been actually, which was called Forgotten Artifacts when it first launched. That might have been the first one that I played that was a blockchain-based game that was actually a game.
Oh,
could be.
That's cool.
It's somewhere around there. Yeah. It's one of those two.
And where do you see blockchain gaming going? And do you think that blockchain gaming could essentially help adoption overall?
Yeah, I think why I've said this since the beginning is that gaming is going to be the big on ramp for crypto.
Yeah,
I've said that, and I've maintained that, and I maintain that to this day. It is 100%, and we're already starting to see it now. Blockchain gaming as a niche and as a sector here in crypto has exploded this year. We're just seeing dozens and dozens of new games. A lot of them pretty shitty, but a lot of really cool ones too. And making inroads in mainstream. We're starting to see big companies come on board to really support this, and crypto gaming is 100% the future of where the entire gaming industry is going to be headed. I have no doubt in my mind in that everything is going to be utilizing blockchain in some sort of way, and also utilizing NFTs because it solves a fundamental problem that gamers have with the relationship between games and the gamer. Is that you put a lot of money in these things, and then there's no way to be able to extract that value back out.
Yeah.
You don't own any of those things. You're just renting them. So if you're buying a skin from Fortnite, you're just renting that skin. You didn't buy jack shit. You rented that skin until they decide that you don't have that skin anymore, which could happen because you get banned or it gets lost because of a data breach or something wrong with their database, or there's a lot of different things because it's a centralized service and a centralized ownership situation. So I think that the NFTs and blockchain really help solve some of the fundamental problems we've seen in gaming. And we're just really early right now trying to fill things out. Like, well, how do you create the best ecosystem, and how how does that look like long term? But I am 100% confident that this is where gaming is going to be heading. Get in now if you love gaming, and you'll be ahead of the curve.
Yes, play to earn. You like play to earn games. Like, it's just, it is the future. I think a lot of Gen Z are gamers. We all game. Yeah. We understand the concept of digital property. Like you were saying, Fortnite, like V-Bucks, like that is a digital currency, but it's just not on the blockchain, and you just can't own it personally. But
it's a closed system. Yeah.
No, I definitely agree. 100%. Do you think that a lot of the games out now will have to, kind of adapt to this new play to earn standard and start actually earning like V-Bucks on the blockchain?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we'll definitely see quite a few games adapt, but I think that more than that, I think we'll just see, new games that are coming out, incorporating it, and then being the ones that become popular. And that's kind of how gaming goes, is that we go through cycles. There's a really popular game, and then, something comes out and it's like, oh my gosh, this is a new concept that we've never seen, and it's amazing, and we all want to play this. And that's kind of what Fortnite did with this kind of battle royale style, right? Where it was a concept that was not, the way they did it was just not something that had really been done in that same way before, and it just crushed it. Everyone's like, this is so much fun, I love it, And so I think that's definitely going to happen with a blockchain-based game. and that's really what's going to be pushing it forward. But I think we'll see. I think we'll probably see some other games like adapt and try and because if you already have an in-game economy that is already built on a token that's just not blockchain based, it really just kind of comes down to like, well, adding some of those things in could help your economy, could help reinvigorate a game that's maybe is losing some interest or losing popularity. Make it a play to earn game. Bam! Now you've got more interest, more people coming back to it. So I think we could see that as being a popular option.
Yeah, they just gotta like add a little zest to it, a little zest.
Sprinkle a little zestiness on
Just
that.
A little sprinkle. I like that, like Salt Bae style. Like,
yeah,
that's great. Thank you for coming on today. This was like very insightful. I feel like we all really got to know you today.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's it's fun to share the journey and in general. I think that one of the things I really love the most about the crypto community, everything I've done, everything I've seen and been a part of, is the community, is being able to meet people like yourself, other people at conferences and other creators and projects and everyone. I think that is in particular, now, but really the last few years too, and probably moving forward here, we all have a connection that is a lot deeper than just, most people, because we all believe in a similar ethos, right? And so what I found because of that, because of those beliefs, it gives us more synergy and more, close ties than it does for, just other people who are plebes that don't know anything about crypto and are not down. You know what I'm saying? And so I really believe that. And that's so like, I remember, walking into conferences and things and having an instant connection with these people and thinking, this is my tribe. These are my peeps right here. Like, these are the people who, we have so much in common. For whatever, we just click. And I like, why is that? Well, it's because we have a belief in a very, a similar thing. And Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is kind of that uniting aspect. And so it brings together people who have like similar interests, and that, energy, I think, is really amazing and has really helped to propel this industry.
100%. I feel that. Like, you go into a conference and everyone's just so happy to be there. Oh my gosh, you're this guy on Twitter. You're this girl on Twitter. Oh my gosh, I know you. What's up? Like, oh my gosh, I totally feel
like
that.
Instant synergy, yeah.
Instantly. Like, when we first met, we were talking about In-N-Out Burger. There was an In-N-Out truck outside. It was so great. Oh, that was the second time we met. First time we met.
That was the second time, yeah.
Was Shitcoin. And then, like, oh yeah, I bet you handed me the NFT. I saw you sneak onto the stage. I was like, oh my god, that's Stache. She's here. And you were in the secret agent outfit. It was great.
Man. You know what's funny? Because I know a lot of people there they probably don't know. They probably don't know who I was, and they were like, "Who is this weird dude with this trench coat? He's gonna flash his junk at us." That's what's gonna happen.
Gosh, no!
I know people thought that. I know that's what they thought. And everyone on stage knew me, and like, people, a couple people in the audience probably knew too. But I definitely knew that seemed like that was the case. Like, this flasher is just gonna come here, and we're gonna see his junk in a second. And I didn't do that, of course, but yeah. If you guys haven't watched my Thursday stream, go watch the Thursday live stream that I do called Secret Agent Stache, and that's where the whole character and Secret Agent persona come from. It's kind of fun.
Yes, I was on an episode and it was really fun. He had his curls out to play. You looked really good with the hair.
You know what? You go down in the history books because you're the only time I've ever brought a guest on to play a game with me on that show. Besides Riz. Yeah, Agent Riz is always with me, but he doesn't usually play, so he's like my mom, Yeah. You're the only person I've ever brought on who was on screen with me, and we played a game together, like head to head. So
get out! I'm honored. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's like real love right there. Speaking of the community, thank you for everyone that's watching today. Abook, Floyd, Aheen, Clint, Kevin, Floyd. Oh my gosh, Blurp. We have so many people here. Bitcoiner, Randy, Aristotle. Thank you all for coming out. I hope you guys got some free NFTs. If not, tune in to next time. I will definitely be giving out more. Check out my Telegram. Scan this QR code over here for MissTeenCrypto.com. Join my community. Follow at MissTeenNFTs. I do a lot of giveaways there on Twitter. Thank you, Crypto Stache, for coming out today. I hope you grab some In-N-Out in my memory. I'll be there with you. Send me a picture next time you go. Thank you,
all
Clint.
the time. I love In-N-Out.
No, I'm literally craving it so bad, and I look at pictures from when I went, and I'm like, dang. And, I miss it. You're lucky. Crispy lettuce, melty cheese. It's all there. It's all there. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you, Sir Stache, for taking the time out. I hope everyone has a great weekend, a happy Friday. And as always, stay zesty. Peace.
Good morning, crypto Twitter is missing crypto, spreading crypto with doctors showing its benefits. To my generation, shout out to all my people, just seen